Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. Well, in this video, I am just going to go over the overall market, go over today's price action and give you my opinion on it and where we could be going next. Then I want to get into some pretty interesting charts. I think there's some pretty decent trades that are setting up in the market right now. And hopefully this video gets uploaded. The last one actually got uploaded on one try, one take, and it actually worked. So who knows? Maybe they actually fixed the glitch. But let's take a look at the QQQ first, which of course is the NASDAQ. And you see the NASDAQ gapped up but sold off the rest of the day, but it held firmly at that 21 period exponential moving average. So I think that is a fantastic sign. And even if we're down tomorrow, as long as it holds this support area and that white line right there, that 8-period exponential moving average, I think the rally is still in good shape. And I don't know, I just keep seeing signs that there's still rotation going on in the overall market out of some of those trades that have been working great over the last several months into some of these beaten down tech stocks and other stocks that have been getting beaten down over these last several months. So that's just making me think that I don't know, maybe we do have a nice little summer rally that is starting to kick off. But let's take a look at the spider or the S&P 500. You can see the S&P 500 held serve a little bit better than the NASDAQ. You can see it gapped up, sold off, but actually held in a pretty tight range right near the high from last Friday. So that is a very good sign for the overall market. You know, if you probably look at the news today, it's going to tell you that the S&P 500 was down and the NASDAQ was down. But technically speaking, I think that they held up very well. And these are very good days because we have, after this run-up we had over the last several days, we have, you know, all the chances in the world to sell off, but we are holding up really well. So let's take a look at the diamonds. You can see the diamonds, same exact thing. So the Dow Jones Industrial Average is holding up nice as well. But the most encouraging sign for me anyway was the IWM or the Russell, you know, was holding up very well and actually ended the day green, made a little bit of a doji. Kind of sold off a little bit, but then finished right about where it opened. So that is a very good sign. And even though we've had several days in a row, I think if we do have a little bit of a pullback, you know, that's really not going to be that big of a deal at all, as long as, you know, we don't have a bunch of, you know, high volume selling days coming in. But all in all, I think today's price action in the market was very encouraging, and I didn't sell out of anything. I am holding tight to see if we get this summer rally or not. But you know, let's jump over to the USO or the price of oil, and we can see USO was actually kind of strong today. It jumped above that 50-period simple moving average. That blue line couldn't get above the 8-period exponential moving average, so it's going to be interesting to see. Actually, let me get this green box out of here. It's going to be interesting to see if this is one of those bearish flags that end up breaking down. I'm thinking it probably is going to be one of these type of formations. I don't think we're completely done to the downside on oil just yet, but you never know. This trade has been very hot, so this could be, you know, the pullback opportunity that a lot of people were waiting for to jump in on the USO. So we're gonna have to wait and see how that one plays out. But if I had to guess, I think we're going to make a little bit of a bearish flag, and we're probably going to break down a little bit more. And if we look at the XLE, definitely see there's a lot more damage done in the XLE, and I think the XLE is going to kind of do the same thing, get up here to the 8-period exponential moving average, and then probably give us at least one more rollover. And if we look at the XOP, we can see the XOP found a little bit of support just above that 200-period simple moving average, but now it's headed up towards that 8-period exponential moving average as well. But you can definitely see the volume has been picking up in these things, and the buying volume has been less than the selling volume over this last week or so. So normally when that happens, you get a continuation. If you get a fast move down, you get a little bit of a counter trend up, and then you get some more continuation to the downside. But we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. All right, so let's get into some interesting charts that I am watching at the moment. But before I get into it, just please remember I am not a financial advisor. All of this is for entertainment purposes only, so please make all of your own buying and selling decisions. I'm just trying to show you some of the best looking charts that I see in the market right now. And also, if you guys see any interesting trades setting up, please let me know in the comments section. I appreciate it when you guys do that, because believe it or not, I have taken a few of those trades in the past, and actually a bunch of them have worked out, so I really appreciate it when you guys do that. But Anyway, let's get into the first one, and that is Ocular Therapeutics, ticker symbol OCUL. We can see this one has been in a downtrend, which it seems like forever. But now we are finally starting to get a little bit of a rounded bottom in OCUL. You can see we had some big negative volume days, and it's starting to round up. So selling might finally be exhausting itself in Ocular Therapeutics. It's finally gotten above that 50-period simple moving average, that blue line on the chart, and it has been holding over the last week, and in fact is even holding that 8-period exponential moving average perfectly over the last couple of days. What I'd really like to see is a break above 430 on OCUL, and if it does that with some halfway decent volume, I might have to jump in to this one and hopefully ride this thing up. I think this thing has been trailing off for so long. Even a move up to this 200-period simple moving average wouldn't even be all that much of a retracement, and that is all the way up around $6 a share. I'm not saying it's going to go that high because that is a ways, but if it does, you know, that's really not all that much when you consider how far it has fallen. But let's jump to the next one, and that is USWS. We can see we've got some decent volume coming in lately on USWS. Nice gap up about 4 trading days ago, and it has been holding that gap up ever since. That's what you want to see in these lower price stocks. If it has a gap up and it starts to sell off immediately, chances are it's just going to end up fading down. But if it holds that gap up and then starts to round up, there's a better chance that you're going to have some continuation to the upside. So a break above $1.06 is what I would like to see in USWS, and I would like to see some above average volume come in when it does that. But USWS is looking pretty good. Another one that I found today was LNTH. Let me back this thing up a little bit. We can see LNTH had a nice gap up at the end of February and has been, you know, trending up ever since. Had a nice little pullback over the last couple of weeks, but now it has jumped back above all the moving averages on above average volume. And, you know, it's just looking like this thing is going to continue to move higher. Looks like it's starting that next leg up potentially. I'd like to see this thing get above $70 a share. And if it does, I do think we're probably going to bust out into some new highs. So this one is on my list. Another one is RCMT. RCMT has been trending up for many months, had a nice low volume pullback, and now it's jumping above all those moving averages on above average volumes. This is what you want to see, a below average volume pullback over several weeks when the stock has had a long uptrend, and then a nice move back up above all of those moving averages on greater volume. So I think RCMT still has a very healthy uptrend, so going to be watching to see if this one can hold above these moving averages. If it can hold above these moving averages, you know, for another couple of days, I think it's probably going to start moving higher. Another one that I really like, I've been thinking about buying for quite some time, is Vroom. This one has been getting absolutely crushed. This thing used to be, I think, right around 70 bucks or so. Yeah, right around $70 this thing was in 2020, and this thing has fallen all the way to $1.61. The short interest on Vroom is right around 30%, so you might finally be getting that short covering rally, but you can see big volume moving above that 50-period simple moving average. And even though when it's gotten to around $1.75-ish, it's been selling off over the last 3 days, I do think that there's a pretty good chance we could be moving higher. Got a little bit of a tug of war coming in. There's probably a lot more people coming in right now trying to short this thing some more. But I do think if we get a break above $1.85, this thing could really take off, just because the short interest is so high, and you know, we got a lot of green volume coming in lately. Another one is OBSV. You can see OBSV has been trending up for a while. Ran into that 200-period simple moving average and sold off. It's starting to roll over a little bit, but I think if this thing can hold that 50-period simple moving average and start to move higher, that's probably enough of a pullback to have this thing turn around and then jump above that 200 and continue that uptrend. So I really like the chart on OBSV. And, just an update from one of my previous trades. I didn't make any day trades today, but I did have an option trade going in nclh, or I should say I still have an option trade going in Norwegian Cruise Lines. I actually tried to double down a couple of days ago, and unfortunately I sat on the bid and I just never got executed. If I would have doubled down on those $12 calls, I would be up enormously. I'm up about 200% at the moment, or at least I was. I didn't check it towards the end of the day, but if I could have doubled down, I'd been up a lot more than that. But anyway, I still like the way that these cruise lines are setting up. Big up day last Friday, and today kind of held serve, sold off a little bit, closed near the high of the day, having a little bit of a hard time getting through that 21 period exponential moving average. But I do think, if we get a pop through it, this could be another big move in Norwegian Cruise Lines. So I am sitting tight with my $12 calls. And if you look at some of the other ones in this sector, setting up nicely as well. You can see Carnival Cruise Line held that 8 period exponential moving average. So still a nice looking chart in Carnival Cruise. Let's take a look at Royal. See Royal not as strong as the other ones. I kind of like the chart patterns in Norwegian and in Carnival. A little bit better than RCL, but you can see very similar patterns. And, also had a similar pattern in American Airlines. These stocks just tend to move together for whatever reason. I'm assuming just because, they're equally affected with COVID, but, you would think that we would need the airlines more than we need the cruise lines, but for whatever reason, they're all kind of moving together, but they're all looking good, and that is the point that I'm trying to make right here. American Airlines had a chance to sell off really hard today, and it held that 8 period exponential moving average, so I think that these are making some nice bottoming formations. But that's all I have for this video. I'm going to end it right there. But like I said before, if you guys see anything interesting in the market, make sure you let me know down there in the comment section. Hopefully I can get this video uploaded. If you're hearing my voice, then I did. But I'm going to end it right there. Thank you so much for watching this all the way to the end. And until next time, take care, everybody.